Actually, I think there are three places children should spend their time. One is that they're at school, for school age. Either they are playing or they're just at home bonding with the family and doing stuff. But then there are circumstances that push children to work. And in the case of Kenya, we've had about 1 million children who are in exploitative work situation. So it is not correct and should be stopped. A lot of that is driven by socioeconomic issues, household poverty issues, children trying to bridge in the gap between their income within the households, and of course the limited opportunities in being able to continue with education. And these have been progressively addressed really in a great way. I must say, I started doing my work on addressing child labor issues in the early 2000s, and in those periods we could see trucks, in Kiambu, carrying children to go pick coffee, to go pick tea. If you go into the media archives, you will see photographs. It is very rare that you will see that today. So that has reduced. But then there are certain contexts where children are still going into, especially the informal space. And here we're talking about the small-scale agriculture groups in the domestic work sector, where we have about 2 million people working, and 30% of that are young people, including children, sometimes as young as 10 years, who've been pushed into that. Again, we've done quite well in pushing our social protection policies. And they're supposed to be cash transfer programs for the elderly, for the young people, so that they are able to have their needs met. But when you look at, the books and research that has been done on child labor, for example, the truth is there's going to be a young person who, yes, has the ability to go to school, but they're not interested. Either I'm just not coping with the formal education system, and I don't think that in itself is anything illegal. It is therefore, how do you provide, for one, their protection? And therefore, the conversation today should also look at, are there sectors where young people can work in safely? And I'm talking about 16 years and above, because that's what our Employment Act allows. For example, the domestic work sector. If I was going to work there, how do you promote decent work? We are heading into the Labor Day. I think we have a few days.
Yeah.
And one of the sectors that the president promised to ratify a convention, ILO 189, and the ILO Convention 190. So the 189 is looking at the domestic work and how to make it a decent space for work for everyone, appreciating that there's private and public and the opportunity in that, but also that the ILO 190 looks at the violence and all that. So it is opening up a space where we can ask ourselves, if young people will be forced to work, where can they do that safely? Again, the law appreciated that there is an age that people may be forced to work.
Yeah.
So I think, Siti, the point is there are some socioeconomic factors, and we must do everything within the policy to be able to address that.